It's the life story of a chimpanzee that's taken from its mother when it's born and given to a human mother to bring up as if it were a human child, and the objective is to teach the chimpanzee how to speak, how to use, in this case, sign language, to communicate with us. The whole premise of the experiment is to influence him essentially against his own nature, is to instill human language into him, which is not natural to him, and he hasn't much desire to learn it, it would seem, either. You see him as a tiny, sweet, newborn chimpanzee, and when he hits puberty, all kinds of stuff begins to happen, both for him, as it would do, but also for the people around him. He has very, very obvious natural sexual urges that begin to find the strangest forms of expression because there's no other object for them. He's not in a land of chimpanzees, he's in a land of human beings. Yeah, that was an extraordinary piece of archive, and one we hadn't had any awareness of going into the film, that spending 5 years only with people, he then is confronted with his own species, and it's a very, very unsettling, because he doesn't know what's going on. He's very confused, very scared. He hangs on to people and doesn't want to get with or in any way relate to this other chimpanzee, and that's what he is, and he's going to spend the rest of his life with chimpanzees, so it's an extraordinary moment. We also work within social power structures in the way that chimpanzees do, and you see that play out in the story in very clear ways. There is a powerful male figure in this experiment, and there are lesser powerful, often women. Two of his first two mothers essentially leave the project because of the complications they have with other human beings. He emailed me and said he'd seen the film and had some issues with the lack of the science in it. The film isn't really about the science as much as the story, the drama of Nim's life. But I wanted to tell a kind of dramatic story and not be too sidetracked by quite complex intellectual discussions. In most of your sort of great stories, the lawyer is there, and the law is there to often correct the behaviour of the people. Nim is in a very unfortunate spot, and a lawyer in Boston, Henry Herman, hears about the story and then takes it upon himself to liberate Nim with Bob's help. Well, he was, in some respects, one of the least powerful people in our story. He didn't have any power. He was a research student. Bob is a constant in his life once he meets him. And Bob, I think, also builds a bridge to Nim. He becomes like a chimpanzee in Nim. He doesn't expect Nim to be a human being, and they sort of meet halfway. I think Bob would say he truly loves Nim, like a brother. The story of Nim, it poses questions, and I think perhaps the main one is the nature of our responsibility to animals that we put under our control.